tonight we're gonna make love. You know how I know? Because it's Wednesday. And Wednesday night is the night that we usually make love. Monday night is my night to cook. Tuesday night we go and visit your mother. But Wednesday we make sweet weekly love. It's when everything is just right. There's nothing good on TV. You haven't had your after-work social sports team practice, so you're not too tired. Oh, it's all on. You lean in and whisper something sexy in my ear like, I might go to bed now, I've got work in the morning. I know what you're trying to say, girl. You're trying to say, oh yeah, it's business time. It's business time. It's business. It's business time. I know what you're trying to say. You're trying to say it's time for business. It's business time. Ooh, it's business. It's business time. Oh, yeah. Then went in the bathroom, brushing our teeth. That's all part of the foreplay. I love foreplay. A shake, a shake, a shake, a shake, a shake, a shake. Ow, ow, ow. And you sort out the recycling. That isn't part of the foreplay process, but it is still very important. Next thing you know, we're in the bedroom. You're wearing that baggy old ugly t-shirt you got from your work several years ago. You know the one, baby, with the cover stain. I remove my clothes very, very clumsily, tripping sensuously over my pants. Now I'm naked, except for my socks. And you know when I'm down to just my socks, what time it is. It's business. It's business time. You know when I'm down to my socks, it's time for business. That's why they call business. It's business. It's business time. Yeah. Make a love. Make a love for. Make a love for two. Make a love for 2 minutes. When it's with me, girl, you only need 2 minutes. Because I'm so intense. You whisper something sexy like, is that it? I know what you're trying to say, girl. You're trying to say, oh yeah, that's it. And you tell me you want some more. Well, I'm not surprised. But I'm quite sleepy. It's business. It's business time. Business hours are over, baby. It's business. It's business time.
Oh, yeah. It is Wednesday, and Wednesday is the day that we usually make love. Marcus Buffy in the house. What's going on? That's right. Check your screens. Everything is okay. Jeffrey didn't lose a lot of weight. Nope, that is just the 3-time. Fill it in today. He's going to give us all of the recap from the boys' trip. Jeremy, how are we doing today?
Doing well this morning. Doing well. Ready to go. Nice long day before the storm hits tomorrow. We're all getting prepared. I know. Might be a little windy here tomorrow.
Is it bad that anytime that there's a hurricane, even remotely near, I want it to smack my home? Is that a bad thing?
You want to what? Smack your home?
Yeah, I want a hurricane to hit my house.
Oh, you want the hurricane to hit? Oh,
yeah.
I don't think you do. No,
I really do.
Like you want it to level your place.
Actually, right now, I would love for it if it ripped my roof completely off. Yes.
Okay.
I would love that.
Okay.
Let me just say this though. So I bought a whole home generator when I first moved in here.
Okay.
And it's only been used very sparingly. So I feel like I need the power to go out at some point to justify this purchase. So anytime that there's a major hurricane coming, to your point of what you just said, I don't get worried because I know that I'll never lose power no matter what. And if we think about everything that happens during a hurricane, the number one thing that we worry about is losing power and being in this sweltering heat all day long. Am I right? So if you take that element away, it's fucking party time, man. It's party time.
I like that. I could say that when the last major hurricane that hit Orlando, oh God, which one was it? Irma. When Irma hit, I didn't have power for 5 days, and that was miserable.
I was out for 24, maybe 36, and I thought it was going to be. I had my Hummer parked. This is when I was with Nick's, and I had my Hummer parked. I had a power converter on my Hummer. I left my Hummer running, and then I had an extension cord coming into the house, so I had a TV and a fan.
Oh my God! Yeah, I was with my ex, and we live right behind Magic Kingdom, so we were like, oh, we won't lose power. No, we lost power for 5 days. It went off Sunday night when the storm hit. It didn't come back on until Friday at like 10:30 because I was living in the same complex as our good friend Paul. And,
so because Disney has its own power, so if it goes out, like they're not a priority zone. No. The good thing about, like I said, the only reason why it was like 24 to 36 is one of the things that happened over there is that his neighbor's house actually turned their house into an assisted living facility. Which when it first happened, we're like, what the hell is going on over here? Like, this is ridiculous. Can you even do that? But what we quickly learned is that also puts you on priority access for power restoration.
Okay. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. So if you're a hospital area, a nursing home, an assisted living, they're all on power priority. So if something goes wrong, they fix those people first. So it was great to have it in.
Well, I'll be at work tomorrow, so I can't say anything. I'm helping out one of our friends. School's already canceled for tomorrow here in Orange and Seminole County, and so she has no babysitter.
Is it really?
Yeah, they already canceled it.
Like I haven't even looked at I know it's going further north. Like we're just gonna have wind and rain.
The outer bands, yeah, but it's gonna be sustained 30 mile an hour winds, gusts to 55 to 60.
That's every summer between 3 and 5.
Bro, so listen, I picked up an 11 o'clock dock bar shift because unfortunately people from out of town love to sit on a dock bar when it's rainy and windy. And I know it can be 100 degrees. People are going to sit outside because, oh, it's not that warm where I'm from. So this is fun. This is great. Yeah. It's like wintertime here, when it's 50 and people are sitting out there.
Let me also just emphasize as well with this being said, because I don't, when I say that I want the hurricane to hit my house, I don't want people's houses to be demolished. I don't want people to lose everything they have. And I don't want, flooding and all of that nature. I just like a good storm. That's all. If I can have a good storm, nobody loses their life, very minimal damage, I'm a happy camper. In the middle of summer, that's all I look forward to is those heavy storms between 3 and 5. I don't know why. I really should probably move to Seattle.
No. It rains like 300 days a year. No, you don't want that.
I literally love the rain. I love it when it rains. It can rain every day, and I'll be happy.
The work wife tells me she's from up there, and she said there was one period she remembers where it rained 56 straight days.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
No.
Well, how do you even tell me what I am or am not contained?
You're all right. Never mind. All right,
Jeff. I don't even want to talk to you about this, Jeff. I don't even want to talk to you about it. Tell me that 30 mile an hour winds, a kid can't stand in a bus stop. Give me a break. But this is looking like a category 3. So maybe it just, turns a little to the right. We get a little bit.
See, the bad thing is all this is doing is raising our rates for insurance and letting more insurance companies say, we're not going to cover you in Florida because you're going to get devastated, which sucks, man.
It does suck. The cost of living in Florida is becoming unbearable. I mean, we actually looked at moving to Chicago. I mean,
wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's just me and her. We don't have kids. We're probably not going to have kids.
Right.
So it's like we should probably live in a big city. What are we doing in the suburbs?
Yeah. With every bus stop, but you got the parent drop off line right in your driveway every day. And stuff like that.
I mean, this is a great. Yeah, get out of my lawn. This is a great one. Well, let's get into it. Last week, your boy was down sick. Apparently, I have COVID. Still probably have it. I don't know. This is a lingering effect that is just not going away. But the other boys took a trip up to the promised land, up to Chicago. And it was a very interesting journey from the beginning. Some things were cut out unexpectedly. And so, Jeremy, how was the trip?
Trip was fantastic. The boys had a lot of fun. We did a couple Cubs games. We had dinner at Gibson's. We did a architecture boat tour, which was awesome. Then ended on Sunday just watching some football before we had to go to the airport. But the trip did get off to a rocky start. I have very bad sleep anxiety when I have to get up early in the morning.
You are not alone, sir.
If I have to be up at like 6 a.m., like back when I used to work day shifts, like, and I had to be at work at like 9 a.m., even if I went to bed at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I would lay in bed and just like I could hear everything going on, and I wouldn't fall asleep till 5:30 or 6, and then I would wake up like frantic. So Wednesday night I did work. We were supposed to leave at 6:05. Plan was set 6:05 that Jeff was picking me up. Marcus was his father-in-law.
Oh wait, you were getting picked up as well?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Now this is a new twist.
So I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was putting some last minute stuff in my bag. We had some new revelations go on at 3 in the morning.
What revelation happens at 3 o'clock in the morning?
One of our good friends decided that he was going to see if he could make the trip with us. So he booked us 2 hotel rooms on his Hilton points at 3 o'clock in the morning, Thursday, for Friday and Saturday night, so that he could come up and hang out with us. He did not make it, but we got 2 nights of hotel stay for free. So that helped. So your boy overslept. I literally woke up at 8
Not the first time.
Not the first time. I woke up. I was on the edge on front of my bed, and I was just sitting there. I literally was sitting there. My phone was next to me charging. I had like 30 missed phone calls, 6 missed FaceTimes, text messages. Where are you? What's going on? Yes, you're gonna have to catch an Uber. It's a good question there.
You have pee anxiety too?
No, one of the guys that we met up in Chicago has pee anxiety.
What the fuck is pee anxiety?
He can't.
You get anxiety if you have to go to the bathroom?
No, he can't be. If there's anyone in a stall on either side.
Oh, stage fright. Yeah. So pissing in the trough is probably not for him.
Not for him. Wasn't for Jeffrey either. He did not use the trough at all. That's a whole nother story.
When you have homophobic, when you have homo tendencies like Jeffrey does, you can't be hanging around all those sausage and control yourself.
So they went to the airport. Ian and Jeff went to the airport. I wake up, like I said, at 8:30, and
so nobody knocked on your door.
They didn't come into my place. They didn't come to my apartment. No,
they just sat in the parking lot.
Yeah. And so I wake up.
That's a failed friendship.
No, you can't get in my place. It's a locked place. They don't know the code. They can't get in.
Oh, you have to be buzzed in?
Yeah, gated, buzzed. You can't get in.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not used to those highfalutin society places.
Yeah. So they go to the airport. I wake up and yell, let out an audible, huge F-bomb that I'm pretty sure I woke up a few people in my building with it.
Sure, they were happy about that.
Yeah, wake up my roommate, Dave. Thankfully, he groggily woke up, and I was like, I instantly booked the next flight, and I got on a plane. I got to the airport at 9:35 for a 10:05 flight.
All carry on?
No, I had a check bag.
Oh boy!
I'm walking into Southwest. I'm like, can I check this? And the lady goes, "What time's your flight?" I said 10:05. She goes, "Absolutely not. Take it with you." So I take my luggage. I check my luggage. I miraculously made it through security at MCO, which is very crazy to think that I did. Made it through in 15 minutes. Got to the gate. Lady tagged my bag. She said, "Just drop it off to the gentleman at the end of the jetway," and got on. More anxiety, getting there because the boys are texting me while they're at the meet and greet that our friend Drew set up for us. So they got to meet Porter Hodge, Neil Pearson, and Shota Imanaga. So they had chips and snacks and little sandwiches and sodas, and they got to sit there and listen to these guys talk about throwing a no-hitter and how their career is and stuff like that. And they got to ask a few questions, and these guys are texting me, and they are literally in cahoots saying, "Oh wow, Shota's signing baseballs. This is awesome. I just got Shota to sign my balls," and I'm freaking out on the plane. So I instantly get off the plane. Luckily, I was in the 5th row between 2 fat people that did not smell the best. That was fantastic. I get off, get my bag, get an Uber. Uber driver didn't speak a lot of English, but he spoke the language of speed and did very well. Got me right to Wrigley, where I walk up to the gate, and I go to present the guy my phone to say, "Hey, I'm supposed to be at this event," and this kid. Pimple-faced kid goes, it's not working, and I'm like,
why's it gotta be a pimple-faced kid, bro?
Because he was, bro.
Acting is a real struggle.
Because he was, okay? I'm sorry. I have great skin.
Unbelievable. Yeah, well, okay, there you go. I mean, congratulations.
Supervisor's standing there. He goes, "Hey, are you the guy that missed the flight?" I say, "Yes." He goes, "Come with me. I know you have a ticket. I can see it." So I step inside the gates of Wrigley. I've got my big bag, my backpack, and I go, "Should I leave my bag?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I leave my luggage with everything in it right inside Wrigley next to this a brick pillar. I go running in. Everyone's coming out. They're in the 1914 room, which, Tyson, fantastic room, great place. Jeff and Ian said they were looking around. It was just immaculate. I barely got to see it, but I'm walking in. Everyone's walking out. They got stuff in their hands. I'm like, oh my God. And thankfully, Drew and his Cubs representative, Regina, big shout out to her. She says, "Oh, you're the one. Come on." So I grab my jersey, put it on. All the guys are walking away. And I mean, they're 15 feet away from me. They're walking away because they're going back in the clubhouse. They're done. And Drew yells like, "Hey guys, we got one more." And my new favorite player is Porter Hodge, our closer, who I got to watch him throw 2 saves this weekend. Says, "Hey, hold on, guys. Hold up a second. Hey, Shota, Neil, come on back. We got one more." Calls him back. They walk over in front of the big picture board, as you call it. I call it a step and repeat. I shake all their hands. I'm like, "Thank you guys so much. I'm so sorry I missed my flight. I'm an idiot." We all get us all set up. I put my arm around Shota. I'm standing there. We get my photo. These guys go to walk away. I say, "Thank you again." I shake all their hands. I appreciate it. "Hey, go Cubs. I'm a big fan. Thanks, guys, so much." Shota says, "You're welcome." They walk away. I turn and look, and Ian, Jeff, Drew, and our new friend Michael, who has the P anxiety, all of their jaws are just dropped. And I'm like, "What?" And they're like, "You shook their hands." And I'm like, "Yeah." And they go, "And you talked to them, acknowledged them, and you put your arm around Shota." And I go, "Yeah, why?" They're like, "We got herded up, told stand there, take a photo, get the fuck out." So like,
pays to be the last one.
So everyone there is like, "Bro, you need to buy a lottery ticket for getting here as fast as you did after missing your flight." So, but then we went to the game that night. Thursday was in the bleachers. Ian did not get his ass kicked, which was great. He had I forget which player, because we were right below the Washington bullpen, and then they come out in between innings, and so Henry Blanco is their bullpen coach now. Good old Hank White. But Ian was yelling at one of the relievers or one of the guys that was in the bullpen, threw him a baseball. So instantly, Ian said, "If I catch a ball, the right thing to do is find a kid." So awkwardly, this was the one of the funniest things. Awkwardly, Ian stands up and goes, "I need a kid. I need a kid." And he's yelling this for like a minute and a half, and there's no kids in the bleachers. It's a Thursday night. There's like a 13-year-old kid over like to our left, and he's sitting there going, No, bro, don't look at me." And he finally finds a kid like in the second row of the bleachers with his family. Ian goes, "Hey man, here," and throws him overhand. Nearly hits the kid in the face. They get the ball. So that's that. Had a great time. Cubs win. Go back on Friday. We called it an early night. We go back Friday morning, and Drew knocked it out of the park for this trip for us. Good, big shout out to him. He gets us passes to walk the season ticket holder parade that they do, and we get to walk onto the field. We literally walked in the right field onto the warning track, got photos all along it, walked off on left field warning track, and then went to our seats.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, that's a good experience to have at Wrigley Field there. That's for damn sure.
I was very upset, and I told them that it took me 44 years and having to sign up for a stupid 5K to get to be on Wrigley Field. It took them 36 hours.
It's all about who you know. And the Indiana trip did get canceled. The boys chose to stay in Chicago, which is probably good because that game would have been painful if you would have traveled over there to watch it. So,
and they mentioned when we were watching the pre-show broadcast in our hotel before we went to Barstool River North to watch the games, the tickets for that game in Indianapolis, highest ticket prices they ever had.
Yeah, they got the fans once again got screwed. Well, let's get into it. We've been offered. What's that?
$360 for nosebleeds.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. No. Yeah, especially for that. So let's get into it. The NFL. We are through 3 weeks of the NFL season, and there's been quite a few surprises that have been happening in the NFL on both sides. You know, I want to start with the Chicago Bears first, because obviously everybody knows that me and Jeremy are both Chicago Bears fans, and we bleed, unfortunately, orange and whatever else, you know, navy blue. And what we've seen through the first 3 weeks is what we've been telling, or at least what I've been saying from the beginning, right? When Jeffrey, who is not here today to defend himself, which is even better, so I can just shit on him. When he was bitching to me about Caleb Williams and being the Jesus prodigy of the NFL Football League and how the Bears cannot pass it, I said the Bears should keep Justin Fields, trade both the picks, load up, get an offensive line, and get whatever else you can piece together at the end of the draft. Everybody said that's absolutely idiotic. That's terrible. He's a generational quarterback, and that is still remaining to be seen, by the way. You know, you got to take Caleb Williams. Well, they took Caleb Williams. Okay, whatever. If that's the move, that's the move. But after watching Jaden Daniels, you know, obviously they're, again, as I also said, the first and the number one overall pick is a crapshoot, in my opinion. It's not guaranteed. You can't expect these kids to come in the NFL and just succeed right off the rip. However, everybody told me that Caleb Williams is the exception to the rule. That's fine. We have seen some absolutely atrocious play from Caleb, from the Chicago Bears, and from the offensive line. This is my only thing, is as we look at Justin Fields now in Pittsburgh, 3-0, I'm going to say that with a grain of salt, because it's not like they've gone out and set the offensive world on fire. But Justin Fields has done what he has needed to do. He has one of the best passer ratings. And the stuff coming out of Pittsburgh is that coaches absolutely love him. They love coaching him. And you can see that he is being properly coached. I've watched every Pittsburgh game so far this year. I've seen Justin Fields get to third and fourth reads. I said that. You heard it right. Clip it. Do it. Justin Fields is getting to his third and fourth reads by now. This we also said at the end, when they did trade, the Chicago Bears failed Justin Fields. And they are going to fail Caleb Williams as well. The fact is, we do not have an offensive line to protect a rookie. Our wide receivers, Keenan Allen, now hasn't played for 2 weeks. This was the big flag of Keenan Allen, right? When he came in, can he stay healthy? Well, he's already proven he's not. If you can't be on the field, then you're not worth it. Rome Odunze has started to produce. And this is going to be, now, I'm not going to sit here and say that the whole world is falling apart, but we have seen this before, right? I mean, this is the Bears' MO. Great defense, no offense. And Caleb Williams is brought in to be the prodigy to fix that. However, you can't fix it if you don't have good coaches. And you could already see with the play calling, you have an offensive line. You're getting pressured 60 to 70% of all of your dropbacks. You don't change anything. You don't roll him out of the pocket where he's more comfortable. You have had zero, that I've seen, screens, slants, and things to get the ball out quick from him. You've seen him and DJ Moore not on the same page. And I think the biggest red flag for me was it it might have been week 2, or was it this week? No, I think it was week 2. Throughout Justin Fields' time in Chicago with DJ Moore, I never saw DJ Moore act or look disgusted and we had some bad offensive times. I never saw DJ Moore act upset. I saw more poor body language from DJ Moore week 2. And then if you look at the lip reading when he was coming off talking and he looked at Tyson Bagent and said, "I need you out there, dog." That's just not a good look, man. And this is some of the things that we talked about as far as some of the red flags from Caleb Williams, the prima donna-ishness. You saw the interaction with him and CJ Stroud. Where I guess, he was supposed to be little bro. You could see Caleb had no interest in listening to what he said at all. I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and say that Caleb Williams is a bust because, as I've always said, these guys need time to develop.
Okay.
All right. So my biggest issue is, can Chicago even develop anybody? This coaching staff is atrocious on the offensive side.
I'm going to be the protagonist on you on a lot of things you're talking about, because I did see a lot of the same things, and I believed a lot. The DJ Moore stuff, yes, I said that to a few people last week. I'm like, I need DJ Moore to get out of his own feelings and quit thinking like I'm the man. Okay, you are the man. We understand that, DJ. You're an alpha. Okay, you're number one. Okay, but we also need you to be a leader that, listen, he's trying to get you the ball, and there's been some things that he's messed up. Okay, he's a rookie. Okay, Justin Fields was in his third year when you came over, DJ. So Justin Fields could still make some throws, and he's seen at this speed. Okay, Caleb Moore. All right, the one thing I'm going to say is, first off, F off to all my Chicago fans who are already writing off Caleb Williams. It is week effing 3. Okay, I'm sorry. He went from 90 yards to 100 and something yards to 363 passing yards and 2 touchdowns in his third game. Okay, that's our rookie passing record. Okay, last person to do that was Justin Fields, and he threw for 330 yards, and we got blown out in that game. Okay, this game we were competitive. All right, the defense didn't have its best day. I also saw quite a few defensive plays that were questionable, considering they blew the whistle and stopped our forward progress going for a fourth or third down. But when they were down, but when the Colts were down the goal line, Taylor was stopped 4 yards back, and all of a sudden you saw all the offensive line come and rush and bum rush and push him into the end zone. They didn't stop.
Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, absolutely ridiculous.
That was egregious. Now the O line has been terrible. All right, we had Ryan Bates in there. He didn't look great. Okay, we had
who's now on IR.
Yeah, we've got. Tevin should be playing a lot better. Darnell Wright, you are a second-round pick that played at Tennessee. You know how to play freaking football. You should be playing better. But our left tackles have been making it easy for the edge rushers to get around. All right, DeAndre Swift. Okay, we signed you so you could run the ball, and I know that Swiss cheese offensive line isn't the greatest to run behind, but you should be better. But I also agree.
Khalil Herbert's hitting holds better.
We need more swing passes. Roshan Johnson was our leading rusher last week with like 28 yards. Okay, that's terrible. But the one thing I will say is that if I watching the game Sunday, what the Bears did, I think the coaching staff realized the DJ Moore issue. If you noticed, I think if you look on the play log, on the first 2 drives, 60% of the plays were going to DJ Moore. Bubble screens, little slants. We were getting the ball to DJ Moore, targeting, to say, listen, we know you're here, dog. Okay, we're gonna use you, and then we're gonna get you that big pop. And one thing that Matt Eberflus said after the game was, and on Monday after watching the film, listen, Caleb made some mistakes. He overthrew Rome for an interception. The first interception hit off Rome's head because the defender was all over him. Second one, he overthrew him, but it's because he was being aggressive. That's what I like, okay? He's making small mistakes, being aggressive. Because guess what? In week 8, week 12, week 15, when he's aggressive and makes that throw into that spot where he wasn't making it in week 1 and 2, those are going to be dimes. So pump the effing brakes, relax. Listen, we're 1 and 2. I'm not worried about it, okay? We're not an 0 and 3 team, okay? 1 win. We should have had 2 wins, okay? Guess what? We can do this.
I'm perfectly happy with the Tennessee game. I'm sorry, the Texans game. As strangely as that sounds, when I was talking to my mother,
less than 1 score,
yeah. She goes, "Well, what are your expectations of this game?" I said, "If they keep it within 1 score, I'll be happy," and they did. And
we were in that game till the end. I don't want,
correct.
Yeah, no one.
My thing isn't with Caleb Williams. My thing is with the Chicago Bears coaching staff. I just don't see anybody that, we look at the production of Cole Kmet from weeks 1 through 3. Week 1, he wasn't even targeted but one time. Gerald Everett is now, where he was 85% of the share snaps to start. Now he's down to 33, and Cole Kmet has basically gone from 33 to 85. And I just saw something the other day. They signed another tight end. But now all of a sudden we got Cole Kmet in the mix. That's what you need out of your rookie quarterback. You need those tight ends. Look at, Trevor Lawrence the other day with Brendan Strange with Evan Ingram out. You have to be able to rely on these guys. That Cole Kmet's a big target. And with Keenan Allen out, like to your point, it's very easy to double team DJ Moore and put somebody on one-on-one coverage on Odunze, because again, he's a rookie and maybe he's not the best route runner yet. You know, he has, as your point, he's not on the speed. The Bears desperately need for Keenan Allen to get on that field, because
Absolutely.
as you can see right now, anytime that you bring pressure against Caleb Williams, it's not good, and rightfully so. And when we look back at this, has been our MO over the past 3 years, right? I mean, the reason why Justin Fields was so successful on the ground is because he was running for his life, which translated well over to Pittsburgh. Now that offensive line is starting to give him some more time, and look what's happening.
Yeah.
My issue isn't with Caleb Williams. My issue is you didn't do enough or anything to shore up that offensive line on that 4th down play when we decided to run the option on the goal line there. If you look at the film from that, 4 of our offensive linemen are flat on their backs before he gets the ball. I mean,
the left tackle missed the block. The guard missed the linebacker. Yeah, absolutely.
There's been a lot of sloppy play, and I'm not putting this all on Caleb Williams. Cole Kmet missed a huge block where, Caleb Williams just got absolutely demolished on one of these plays. I'm not saying that this is Caleb Williams' fault. And to your point, if you're ready to write him off after 3 games, you have a lot of issues. We gave Justin Fields 3 years. You can't give him 3 games. And he will continue to progress. And I think that that's one of the biggest issues that we have in the NFL with these quarterbacks coming out, is we expect them to be baby Jesus on the NFL football field. We expect them to be Tom Brady. We expect them to be Patrick Mahomes. We expect them to be a CJ Stroud. And if you look at throughout the league and the mediocre quarterbacks that are getting paid, I mean, look at Trevor Lawrence. We're going to talk about him a little bit. Obviously you have Daniel Jones in New York. I mean, you got Bo Nix that are, he's a rookie though. I can't really think. You got Geno Smith out in Seattle, right? I mean, when you look at the quarterback play, even Baker Mayfield, who's come back and he's only getting paid as a mid-tier quarterback, which, I think he's probably underpaid. It's very hard. Or Tua, right? Jalen Hurts. These guys haven't really done a whole lot, but they got the bag because it's so hard to fill this position. My biggest thing again is the body language of everyone. I'm not just talking about DJ Moore. And I think the frustration with DJ Moore wasn't necessarily that he wasn't getting the ball. It's just that they're just not on the same page. Whatever's happening from practice to the game is not translating. Right. When DJ Moore's running a straight route and Caleb Williams is throwing the out route, that's a big miscommunication. To your point, as far as some of those balls that he's trying to force in, the Rome Odunze one where, Jeff says, this is the receivers not coming back to get the ball. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree. I mean, you are putting those up into those areas, but, I can't really fault the receiver when the defender has his hand in the hands and touching the ball as it hits. I mean, it's going to be a tough grab either way. And he has hit some pretty ones. And the floaters will come. And that's what I put out on the group chat. His biggest issue right now, he's got a cannon. You can see it. He's got a laser. He's fitting the ball into some the tough throws he's making. It's the easy throws he's missing. Yeah. The floaters, the deep balls. Those are the ones that he's missing, and those will come. But again, my biggest issue is the body language between him, the body, and his teammates. It just doesn't feel like there is synergy. Listen. Not to say that's not going to come, but when you see Caleb Williams, the best part was the Justin Fields, Caleb Williams meme. I don't know if you saw it or not, where they're both sitting on the bench and they're like, and it was like, Chicago quarterbacks. And it was the exact same pose, the exact same thing.
I think the one thing about their language, their body language, is they know that they can be great. This team knows that they can have a great offense, okay? They're just, I don't know what's going on. We got, stuttering Shane Waldron, who's just now, trying to get on the same page. Looking at the numbers from it, okay. We wanted to get DJ Moore more involved. 10 targets, 8 receptions. Cole Kmet, 11 targets, 10 receptions. Rome Odunze, 11 targets, 8 receptions. We got those guys, but we also had Caleb throw it 48 times. He dropped back 52 times.
The run game is just, but to your point, like you said, if there's no holes, but then again, Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson was both able to hit those holes. Now, whether that defense changed up their scheme because DeAndre Swift was out and they figured that they weren't going to run, I don't know.
Roschon got 30 yards.
A good offensive coordinator should be able to scheme not only to your weaknesses, but to your quarterback's strengths. And when we look back at everything, man, when we look back at Justin Fields, when we look back at Mitchell Trubisky, we can go back, as far as you want to go. It's always like, and I think we've said this on the program before, it's always like offensive coordinators are like, I don't care what kind of quarterback my guy is, he's going to adapt to my system.
Right.
And that's where I think that the problem lies. I mean, we need an offensive guru. We need somebody that's going to devise play. Okay, you're going to blitz me 60% of the time. Okay, well, I've got plans X, Y, and Z to get the ball out of his hands less than a second. This is what's going to happen. And then if the guys don't pick up the assignments, they miss the blocks, they drop the passes, or they're not getting open, that's a different scenario, right? And I will say a lot of the times that I saw and when he's running for his life, there was nobody open. The guys are not getting open because if you double team DJ Moore, okay, who do you got? Now, I do like 11. Is it Coleman? Who's number 11? He does our punt returners.
Oh, you're talking about DeAndre Carter.
Yeah, I love him, dude.
Yeah,
I think he reminds me of like a Tyreek Hill, like a DeAndre Carter.
Yeah.
DeAndre Carter, a Tyreek Hill type. He's just a super speedster, man. So like that right there, there's your slot guy, right? Yeah. And so if Keenan Allen's out, put him in the slot.
And they were working him in. He got 3 receptions on 6 targets.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if they're going to blitz like that, you put him in and he run him a crossing route. They can't catch it. You can't catch him. Just like Tyreek Hill, they double team him because they can't keep up with them. So that's my biggest issue. After the first 3 weeks, it's kind of what we thought. The Bears have an awesome defense. We have a lot of issues on offense. And, I think the first thing that starts with, we need Keenan Allen on the field. I mean, and to your point, it is early in the season, but we do have a gauntlet of a schedule coming up. And losing to teams like the Colts and the way that you lost is a locker room killer. And that's my concern is that can Matt Eberflus keep this team together? It's a lot of divas. It's a lot of personalities, a lot of things. You bring Caleb into it. He's probably the biggest personality in there. Can he keep it together? And that's kind of my thing is like, not all coordinators make good head coaches. I mean, obviously looking at the defense of Matt Eberflus, the dude knows what he's doing come defensive time. And they do have a stacked roster on the defensive side. I do see that Chicago put out they're holding open tryouts for offensive linemen. I love it. I got a couple boys I'm going to send up there. Yeah, I mean, that's the state of the union there for the Chicago Bears. So don't panic just yet, Bears fans. I know that we had a lot of expectations for this year, but you need to relegate it. The Bears aren't going to the Super Bowl as much as we want. They might make the playoffs.
Breaks. I think we still make the playoffs.
I don't even know, and I'll tell you why.
Why? Because Vikings are 3-0, the Packers are 2-1.
Well, the Vikings.
Detroit's.
If you remember from the pre-shows, I said that I think the Vikings are kind of like
they were the X factor.
They're going to be better than we think, and they definitely are. I mean, let's talk about them right now. Let's see, where's this at? So some surprise teams so far. Steelers 3-0, Seahawks 3-0, and the Minnesota Vikings 3-0. Which that one to me,
and they got to 3-0 by dominating the Texans 34-7. Dominating.
Didn't they 49ers as well?
They beat the 49ers the week before.
Yeah, I mean, bro, this is scary for the NFC North. We talked about the NFC North being obviously
the toughest division.
And if they are going to do this, I mean, Bears, you better hold on for dear life because the way that the Packers are rolling, even without Jordan Love, I don't see us getting out of this gauntlet alive here. I tell you, Sam Darnold, maybe it wasn't Kirk Cousins. Maybe it's just if you have a great receiver like Justin Jefferson that gets open all of the time, you can have these types of numbers.
98-yard touchdown.
Yeah, fantasy football is dead to me. I already hate it. I already hate it. The Bills 3-0 is also surprising. I don't know if you saw Josh Allen in his comments and saying it's nice when everybody's out there just playing the game and not worrying about their stats.
Yeah.
Slight shot at Stephon Diggs, eh?
Little bit.
So,
Little bit.
when I first heard the comment, I was like, well, yeah, that's true. And then I'm like, you know what, though? But, like, in order for a receiver to get paid, it's not like a quarterback, right? A quarterback's going to get paid if you, like we just talked about, if you're mediocre, you're going to get paid because it's such a struggle for that position. The wide receiver's not. I mean, it is tough to have, people at the level, wide receivers at that level. But if a wide receiver doesn't get the stats, they don't get paid. So I see it from both ways here. Stephon Diggs, I need my touches. I need my catches. I need to get paid on my next contract. Josh Allen's like, I've already gotten paid. So, like, I'm going to throw it to whoever's open. Which I don't know how in a world of stats equals paychecks you're ever going to get rid of that, but we shall see. We shall see. How about the Washington Commanders? 2-1. Jaden Daniels.
There's a lot of talk on social. Should the Bears have used it on Jaden Daniels, the number 1 pick? Listen, there's no way they should have. No, there's no way you can see that. Now, I will say, one of your points earlier was, you need your offensive coordinator to design a offense around that player. Cliff Kingsbury is proving once again that he is a very good offensive coordinator. Not a good head coach, good offensive coordinator. Why? Because he is moving the ball with Jaden Daniels. But here's my thing, the issue that I had. And I was talking to a Commanders fan last night, not Ian. It was at the restaurant.
There's more than one?
Yeah, I know. That was crazy. Yes, they are 2-1. Jaden Daniels has looked good. Did great passing this past week. But in their first 2 games, he's using his legs a lot. Okay? And I'm not saying he's going to get tired. I'm saying he's going to get beat up. Because he is not the biggest guy. I can't say much. I'm not the biggest guy either. But he is skinny. And if he continues to run, somebody in the NFL is going to knock him out. Or injure him. And that's the end of the season for them. So I think quit the talk about we should have drafted him first. No.
I don't think that at all. And it was either you take Caleb Williams or you trade the number 1 pick, you trade the number 2 pick, and then you're sitting there at whatever 3 or 4, and you took Marvin Harrison Jr. or Joe Alt. And then, you sat on your war chest of picks and you built a line. So
hindsight is 50-50, man. Come on. You know that.
Hindsight should be 100%, baby. If you're shooting 50-50 looking back, we got problems.
The old saying is hindsight is 20-20. It's a play on words.
Which is perfect vision.
Yes. Hindsight is 20-20. Okay. Listen, you can't go back and change it. So guess what? We're going to have to move forward and we're going to just keep going. And once again,
I said the same thing. I think Caleb is going to be fine. I think the coaches are the issue. I really do. I think it's the Chicago Bears organization as an issue.
Well, let's keep rolling.
Again, it's just the mentality from all of it's been defense first, which is fine, but you have to put something on offense, man. You got to put something out there. We need an offensive coordinator to get it going. Buffalo Bills 3-0, not really a surprise here, but with the weapons that he had, that was something that we talked about at the beginning of the season. Like, you losing Stephon Diggs, who's going to step it up? And, this goes to the point of exactly what Josh Allen says,
James Cook has really stepped up.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that pisses me off so bad. So I was up by 1 point going into that game. He had James Cook. I had T. Higgins, and I had Strange from Jacksonville because Evan Ingram's still out. Because he tweaked his hamstring in warmups, and I lost by 2 points. And Joe Burrow had T. Higgins in the end zone. He threw it too high, and he only got 1 foot down.
Yep.
That would have been the game there. Very upsetting there. Very, very upsetting. Very upsetting at all. Speaking of the Bengals, 0-3.
Yeah.
We all know that the Bengals get out to a slow start, but I think at this point it's time to start putting some sirens up because the odds of a playoff team that starts off 0-3, I think is 5% to make the playoffs.
Less than 1%.
I thought, maybe 0.8.
Yep.
Can the Bengals make the playoffs?
I don't think so.
I mean, that defense has been atrocious.
I think they're the best 0-3 team there is in the NFL, but that's not saying much. But I think they're gonna figure it out. But that once again, that division is a tough division. You got Baltimore, who's 1-2. Ooh, everyone wanted them to be 3-0 coming into this game. You got the Steelers 3-0 behind. I won't say his name. He's Voldemort to me now.
No, dude, I'm still rooting for that kid, man. He did everything right.
I know.
Even when he left, he never.
I know.
But yeah.
All right, so they're 3-0, and then the Browns are 1-2, and everybody had the Browns picked as a freaking Super Bowl contender this year. I mean, listen, this is the NFL. Anything can happen. So I think.
I don't think if the Bengals can't figure out the defense, I saw some guy go on a rant. Greeny had him up on a rant that the guy was going off on Joe Burrow, saying that he didn't do enough to win that game. And I'm sorry, but if my offense puts up 33 points in a game and loses, I'm not blaming the offense. Not one bit. You put up 33 points and we lose, I'm not coming back looking in that camera and being like, Joe Burrow, you didn't do enough. Give me a break, bro. You give up 38 points to a rookie in the Washington Commanders. Like, no, that's strictly defense. And what we've seen on this defense from Cincinnati is they have been Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
And it's just getting worse and worse. This was an unprepared look ahead, as we like to call it, right? I mean, you lost to the Patriots. I mean,
Oh, the Patriots thing still pisses me off. I don't want to talk about that.
And Survivor, man. Woo, what a bloodbath. I'll tell you, I got in, I'm in two different ones. One of them didn't have a buyback. I was out after week 2. I had 2 teams. I lost one week 1, lost the other one week 2.
Yep.
And wow, I do have.
JC was telling me at work that looks like week 6 might be the end of the Survivor this week.
It could be. I have 2 teams still in. I have 1 team with no losses, and then I have another team with 1 loss that I used my buyback. So, so I have 1 team still with 1 buyback, and that team I use the Seahawks, the Chargers, and the Jets so far, and that one I am going to take the Dallas Cowboys Thursday night going to the New York Giants.
Wow, just gonna put it all out there. Okay, all right.
Yeah. The other one I have is I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to beat the New England Patriots at home.
Okay. I like that.
The Dallas one scares me. I'm not going to lie.
Absolutely scares me.
I mean, because the Giants just knocked me out of last who they beat. I don't know, the Raiders. I don't know. I had the Bengals. So last week, four active entries. I had the Jets, the Bengals, the Browns, and the Raiders. The Bengals, the Browns, the Raiders all lost. Oh, so yeah, we'll see what happens there. But let me see here. Where are we down to? 1, 2, 3. There's only 11 of us left that have perfect teams. Everyone else has 1 loss. That's pretty crazy.
That is.
Let's see what. Oh no, this one.
If I'm going Survivor this week, I'm picking
54. There's only 54 entries left.
God.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them, got knocked out for the Bengals. The Jaguars also 0-3.
Yep.
And I think it's time to talk about this. Trevor Lawrence. He is in year 5 now.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Just signed his $250 million contract.
And this is one of the ones that I look at, when they bench Bryce Young, of course, the internet's very quickly to post these things. Let me see if I can find it here. Bryce Young versus Trevor Lawrence. First 18 games. Hopefully it comes up. I don't know. It didn't show up on this, but I did bring it up. They were nearly identical.
Yeah.
The completion, the completion percentage. Because if you remember when Trevor Lawrence first came into the NFL, he was god awful. Now did he have Urban Meyer to start with?
Urban Meyer, yeah. So I think you can take that as a wash. I'm sorry. first 18
but
games.
the things that we saw in that rookie year have just continued to keep coming over. We talked about the floaters and how Caleb Williams is missing his floaters. I watched Trevor Lawrence just straight up miss like 4 people wide open, just donking it. And I mean, but it goes back to the point is, he was supposed to be the prodigy, the number 1 pick. He really hasn't performed to that level. We've given him a pass because he's been on the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is now in year 5 and he still continued to make the same mistakes. And we looked at what that Jacksonville Jaguars roster is. I mean, that roster is no joke.
No,
I mean,
I think you also, when you mentioned quarterbacks earlier, we were talking about, the top tier quarterbacks. You talked about Brady, Mahomes. You talked about even Geno Smith not being a top tier, but you talked about these guys. A lot of these guys sat for 2 years. A lot. Brady wasn't day one. Mahomes didn't play for 2 years. Jordan Love sat for 3 years. Geno Smith was a backup after he started. I don't think he started his rookie year, but then he went.
He did.
He started his rookie year. Okay, he may start his rookie year, but
or he got it in at some point that year.
He got in, but he didn't. He sat a lot. A lot of these guys sat. Caleb Williams,
which is the formula of what I've been trying to say.
Yeah, it is.
We need time.
Yeah, yes. If you have a more established quarterback, and you draft number 1, yes, you do that. But if you don't have it, the choice, Jacksonville's when Trevor Lawrence was going to be number 1, they said he's our guy. He's going to be started from day 1. Bears didn't say it outright, but we all knew that's what was going to happen. Stuff like that. Bryce Young being their top quarterback. Bryce Young should not have been number 2 draft pick, or number 1 draft pick, but. That I digress on that one. Looks like a middle school.
I'm sure I'm glad he was.
Yeah, so am I.
But I mean, same thing with Sam. Look at Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold right? was the number 1 pick, and he busted
failed
out.
in New York, failed in Carolina, and now all of a sudden, look at him. Now he's balling in Minnesota, and that's what I'm just talking about. Like, when players look at, when you talk about players not wanting to go to certain teams, and how that makes a fan base feel like. I think at this point, a player has to start looking out for themselves. I really do. And you look at who gets drafted when they get signed. Of course, they get that big bag of rookie money, especially if they're in the top 10. I think Caleb's was $25 million signing bonus. He has $45 million guaranteed over the first 4 years. But if you're not, look at Justin Fields. Nobody wanted him. Nobody was going to give him a shot. And as a matter of fact, he went for a 6th round pick. Now with a little bit of coaching and stuff, he's starting to flourish. I feel like it's really, 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 really bad. So the only other teams I did want to talk about is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who the Denver Broncos come in and just dismantle them. Now, I can tell you exactly what this is. This is a team that just didn't think they needed to prep for this game. And they had a hungry team that came in and they just whooped them. There's really no other way I can describe what just happened in Tampa.
When we got to the beautiful Barstool River North bar on Sunday, Jeff said when we get there and there's no NFL games on, and we're like, what the F? Like, it's 5 minutes for the game. Like, they must have one automatic changeover. No, they had to go one by one and change them and put them on. Which was fine, we didn't miss anything, but we were laughing at that. But Jeff said, I said, hey, his game was on, and Denver went down and scored right away. And Jeff goes, yep, same old Bucks. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, we make rookie quarterbacks look fantastic. We've done it time and time again. And I said, do you want to watch your game? Do you want to move so you can see? He goes, nah, I'm good. And every time we look over, there's another score. There's another score. And I said, are you upset about it? He's like, no. He's like, you know what? It happens. That's what we do. We make them look great. So, but I think Bo Nix is he's also been playing high level football for 7 years in college. So he's a little bit more than a rookie. So I think he's got a good shot. But yeah, the Bucks didn't look good. They couldn't get the running game going. Defense was without 4 major players. Vita Vea was out. Antonio Winfield Jr. was out. Another safety was out. Jamal Dean was the only one out there running around. They had some good moments, but yeah, they got pushed around on Sunday.
My Baker Mayfield future took a hit.
As MVP.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I took Baker Mayfield plus 7,500 to win MVP. Before last week, it was down to 2,500. It went to 2,500. Now it's back up to 5,000. I fully expect it to go back down. I don't think he's going to have that type of game. I mean, if you're going to tell me through the first 2 weeks, you're going to give me somebody that has the highest QBR in the entire league at plus 7,500, I'm going to fire on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to fire on it.
Throw a 10 spot on there.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens over there. A little bit of college. I mean, obviously college, we don't really, with the Gators being dog shit, Florida State being dog shit. The only one I guess we really have to look forward to is UCF, right? I mean, UCF still playing good?
UCF is doing fantastic. They are 3-0, one of the top running offenses in the entire nation. They have a big matchup this week, actually. I don't know if you know this, but big noon kickoff. Fox's big noon kickoff is coming to UCF. So for the second time, they got something. We had game day here a couple of years ago. It was fantastic. Great outturn or showing up that out there. I wanted to go to that. That would have been really cool. But Colorado and Coach Prime in town this week. Some of the highest ticket prices in college football this weekend are right here in Orlando. They say tickets as low as $122, but that's I haven't seen anything. I see some guys selling. There was somebody selling their lower bowl tickets, like literally like 2 rows behind Colorado for like $3,000, and they sold. So
wow.
Yeah,
you know my feelings on UCF. It has nothing to do with UCF, the college, or anything. I just had some dumbass friends back in the day that told me a lot of bullshit. So I developed an extreme bias towards UCF. This will be one of the times that I root for UCF because I cannot stand Colorado anymore. I cannot stand the circus that they bring. I can't stand it whatsoever. So I hope UCF trounces the shit out of them. What's the spread?
UCF minus 15 right now.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and Colorado is a 3-1 team. I mean, you would think it would be a little closer. It's a Big 12 matchup. It's a 3:30 game, so it's prime time.
UCF's in the Big 12 now?
Yeah, year 2.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, they've got it's the second game of our Big 12 season. They beat TCU 2 weeks ago, 35-34, came back down 21 in the fourth quarter to win that game. So I really hope that the Knights and Coach Gus Malzahn are not overlooking Colorado. I don't think they would be. I mean, it is Colorado. They're bringing the circus, Barnum and Bailey, to Orlando because there's another big game next week that Tyson's not real excited about. But UCF takes on Florida in the Swamp. I don't know if you saw this. The game, it's big enough to be relegated to the SEC network at 7:45 next Saturday.
Hey, I mean,
at least we get to see it here in Orlando.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, at least it's not a noon game.
No,
there.
Thank God.
That's just something that you don't want to deal with. So the Gators are on a bye this week, which is a little early. Usually our bye is right before the Thanksgiving game.
I think it's a good time to buy.
We definitely need it. That's for sure. I mean, we saw some blips, man. We saw some blitz there at Florida State. We got a lot of issues on defense as well. Again, I'm not ready to write off that team as well. I mean, we talked about getting 6 wins here. 6 to 8 wins get you playoff eligible with this schedule. Now, I'm not saying that they're going to make the playoffs, so calm your horse, Jeffrey, before you start typing out shit. But they're not eliminated yet. I will say that. And if they do happen to get a good run, and they happen to beat UCF, number 5 Tennessee, number 2 Georgia, number 1 Texas, number 14 LSU, number 6 Ole Miss, and then perform in the rivalry game against Florida State, there's an opportunity.
There's a chance.
That is wild, man. That literally the Gators have 2 games or 3 games the rest of the way that are not ranked. And that's UCF, who probably could be ranked.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Florida State. Give me a break, bro. Like I said, I mean, if they won 6 games this year, I'd be happy. I call that a win for Billy Napier and the shitty ass Gators. We'll see what happens over there, though. That's going to do it for us today. Jeff or Jeremy, you got anything else to add? Anything to wrap us up with?
Oh man, I'm just looking forward to it. I love my new schedule, having Sundays off, so it's really nice to be able to sit and watch football. Not and but it's been
I really enjoy just sitting on the couch and watching football all day long.
we've been hanging out at Ian's place, his terrorist Gianna running around, and but we've been hanging out there just watching football all day. It's been a really cool thing to do.
I think last week when I ordered 50 smoked wings from Hooters and just
Well, that cost you $120.
no, they had a $20 off, $50 or more purchase.
Yeah, you need
so it was
that.
only so it was only 65.
That's crazy. I tried to get 10 wings from there the other day. It was $17.99. I was like, I'm not paying $20 for 10 wings.
Yeah, wings are almost $2 a pop now wherever you go. It's just
Unless you head out to one of our
Thanks,
favorite spots
Biden.
tonight. Would you head out to one of our favorite spots tonight? You got 75-cent wings starting at 8 o'clock.
Those used to be 50.
They used to be 50.
Thanks, Biden. That's going to do it for us today, the Uninformed Fan. We'll probably be back Friday, I do believe. Stay tuned. We might have some stuff that's going to be happening with the show, a little bit, bringing in a little bit fresher product. So stay tuned with that. If you are driving between now and Friday, please, for the love of God, stay out of the left-hand lane. And I hope everybody has a blessed day.
Stay safe out there, guys.